Hey, how's it going, everyone? So what am I working on now? Well, I got what the heck year is this? 2017 Ford Transit van. It's like a 250 or 350 series with a 3.7, I believe it is. Non-turbo. I got dog hair on me. I don't know if you can see that. It's Luna. Our dog Luna. A big white fur ball. Anyway, customer states that when they're driving, all of a sudden they can't accelerate. Like, it has no throttle response, basically. All right. Check engine light is on. It's got a tire light on too. It's got a couple of codes in it. It's got codes in the ABS module, body control module. They're all non-consequential. They're not going to really mean anything. I did look at them. None of them really mean anything. However, the ABS one, possibly. And let me explain that. Let me show you. So here we go. Here's the chart, the tree, whatever you want to call it, that shows the different modules on the different can lines here. So ABS is here. Got brake switch, invalid data from body control module, missing communication with body control module, lost communication with steering angle sensor module. Most of these codes don't really mean much of anything. However, the brake switch code, that one might concern me, might not. Why is that? All right. On cars with electric throttle, most of them, some of the performance cars not because of one specific reason, burnouts. But on something like this, they don't want you to ride the brake and give it gas at the same time. It'll shut down the throttle. So if this thing thinks that the brakes are always on, it could do that. So now here's the weird thing too, and it just clicked in my head just now, just as I'm talking about it. This thing came in Friday. It's Monday. It was stone dead when I got to it. Why is that? Could it be because the brake lights are on? I don't know. Like I said, I just thought of it myself. So they could be on. Let me go out and check it. Now this is a work van, so it does have lettering on it. So I kind of want to avoid you guys seeing the lettering. So hang on one second. Here's the whole funny thing about just now. I was talking about this and I realized I wasn't even recording, so I got like 3 minutes of talking to nothing but myself. I do that a lot anyway. But anyway, let me just show you. It is in fact the brake lights. Brake lights on. Brake lights on. Brake lights on. Okay, so that does explain it. Why the battery was dead. But how does that explain no power? Like I said, what they do is they purposely will shut the power down on the vehicle because it thinks you're riding the brakes. So I'm going to have to fix this brake light first before I go any further. Now, let me just mess with the pedal real quick. I want to make sure that the pedal isn't possibly hanging up on something. So let's see if we can't manipulate the pedal first. So here's the pedal. No, it's up, it's on its stop. So now, I don't know, I don't recall if these things have any screws underneath here. I don't even know if I can actually see anything if I got this panel off. I gotta look to see how this panel comes off. I don't know off the top of my head. I think it just snaps in place. But underneath, or in between here, see, I can't really see much of anything except this. See that? Can you see that? That brake switch is broken off. See it? It's actually physically broken off. Okay. I don't know why it's broken off. How it could even be broken. I could barely touch it with my fingers. So how did it break off? Let me reach underneath there, see if I can't figure something out. Alright, so the lower panel just snaps off there. And look at this. Here's the brake light switch. Like, how did that come disconnected? How did it get unscrewed from there? Somebody testing me? But there, it goes in there. Basically, you push it in, like line these notches up, push it in, and then twist it, and it should shut the brake lights off. Let me see if I can. Straight across from that. I may have to do this two-handed because I'm going to probably have to push down on the brake pedal to get this thing in place. Let me do that real quick. But you understand, you see where I got to go with that? Sorry about the finger there. I'm going to probably push the pedal down to give myself a little wiggle room. Plus, it's kind of tight. So let me do that real quick. So I tried to snap this thing back in, and the front of it just broke right off. I mean, very easily. Which, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Why would the thing come out in the first place? I don't know. No idea. So something happened there. All right, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to order one of these. Obviously, a replacement. We're going to go from there. But yeah, kind of weird if you think about it. What's the likelihood of a brake light switch causing a vehicle not to be able to accelerate? I think it's a very, very good possibility because I've seen it before. All right, let me get that on order, and then we'll take this thing for a road test. Oh, and with it disconnected, the brake lights are actually off. Let me show you that. See, they're actually off now. So, just wanted you to see it, that's all. So I got the new switch here, obviously, because it's not broken. And we're going to stick this in there, and we're going to see. Like I said, this is actually, it's pretty interesting. Like I said, I'm pretty confident it's going to be the problem. And I find it wild that I was talking to you about it when I realized what it was. It was just like, you know, all of a sudden a little light bulb went off in my head. I was like, wait a minute, dead battery. I can't believe it didn't clear the codes. And it sat over the weekend. All right, let me get this thing in place. What you do is you install this, you insert it, and then twist it, and it locks in place. And it can only go in one way. So if you look at that opening there, probably easier from here, you see how it's got that, like, that slight offset, and then it's got that bulge to it. So that's going to fit that. You see it's got that bulge there, but it doesn't have like any type of keyway end here, which I don't know if the original one did. I can't tell with this broken off piece here. Nah, it doesn't look like it did. So, all right, let's get this installed. Like I said, I can't really film this because of how tight that area is, but let me get this in and I'll show you. All right, so you push it in, and what I did was I pushed the brake pedal down to make my life easier getting that in place. But basically, it's sitting at the, once you get it in place, it's actually sitting with the connector kind of like the 7 o'clock position, and you have to rotate it counterclockwise to get that in place. So now, I know you can't see it. Don't feel bad because I can't either. Take my flashlight out of here. Let's verify brake lights are off. And they are. See that? Okay, so they're off. Turn my light off. I got nobody here to help me. Do we have anything in the car that I can push the pedal down with? Not really. Oh, maybe. I've got a broomstick handle. See if I can make something work here. Hang on one second. All right, so that should work. Be careful when you're doing this, you don't poke a hole in the seat. And now I have brake lights. All right, let's go for a ride to see if this fixes it. This is pretty wild if you ask me. I have seen this before. It's been a long time. It's pretty interesting that, you know, this may be the entire issue for drivability, a broken brake light switch. So let me get this thing ready and let's go for a road test. Should check the engine codes anyway, right? I never actually checked them. I did, I don't remember what they were, but I don't think they were anything super spectacular either, but let's take a look. All right, so back to PCM. CAT efficiency, below threshold, and ECM, PCM, powertrain control module, engine off, timer performance error. I am actually not 100% certain what that even means. I'll be honest with you, I don't really care. Does it? Anytime I've ever seen that code, it's been like I said, non-consequential. So I'm going to just clear all the codes out of this thing and see where we wind up. So I'm just going to go here, clear DTCs. I already sent myself the summary of all the codes. So everything cleared out of it. And let's go take it for a ride. What I should do, let me go into ABS for a second. I just want to make sure something here. Data stream will even be there. Might be, might not be. Let's see. Brake on off. Okay, off. I know you might not be able to see because there we go. Okay, so there's brake pedal. On, off, on, off. All right, so now it's e-switching. Okay, let me go for a ride and let's see what happens. That's going to be the whole problem. But you never know. I'm pretty confident, though. I'm 99.999% confident that's the whole problem. All right, let me buckle up and go for a ride. Okay, took it for a road test. Good road test. This thing runs really good. It's got 125,000 miles on it, in case you're wondering. And I think I told you it is a 2017. But yeah, I got to put this lower cover back on before I get out. Before I give it back to the customer. But yeah, so sometimes things are not what you think they are. They're not what they seem. I originally thought this thing was going to have an engine problem, and it really didn't. I thought maybe plug cat. I don't know. I had no idea. Loss of fuel pressure, anything. But turns out it's a brake light switch. A brake light switch causing a drivability issue. So kind of interesting. I've seen it before, but it's not a common issue, not a common thing that I've seen. So all right, yeah. I tell you what, the more I use this scanner, the more I really like it. The King Bolin K10. I gotta say, had I bought this before the Snap-on, I would have never bought the Snap-on. This thing's about $1,000. And the Snap-on was $4,000. And this thing does way more than the Snap-on does. Except the only thing the Snap-on gives you over this is Snap-on gives you what's a common repair for a certain failure. Like you got a certain code, like let's say PO301, misfire in cylinder 1. If these things are notorious for, let's say, an injector going bad, let's just say that's a known issue causing that, it will tell you, hey, look here. That's not saying that that's what the problem is. It's just saying that's, hey, look here. So sometimes that comes in handy. But I'll be honest with you, since I really started using this scanner, I haven't used the Snap-on. I maybe use it 1 out of 10 times, maybe even less than that now. So, yeah. But anyway, that's about it. So I'm going to put a link in the description for this. And that's what I meant to say. If you look down in the description, I have links to Amazon products I personally use. This King Bolin K10 being one of them. And I'm not asking you to buy anything, but if you give stuff a click, if you are looking to buy one of these, hey, go right ahead. I think it's a great scanner. I have not been disappointed by it yet. So, and it could probably do a lot more than I know about. So yeah, anyway, that's about it. Like I said, not asking you to buy anything, but if you give it a click, I'd really appreciate it. All right, guys, that's it for today. Hope you got something out of my video. If you did, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. All right, have a great day. Keep wrenching.